My presentation with a strange but uniquely Nigerian greeting. Now, well done. My name is Dike Chukwumerije. I'm a poet, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the city of lions, Abuja, to this country of giants, this country of mothers who take burning pots off the stove with their bare hands. Children who run out excitedly to go play in a thunderstorm. Of women who transform dangerous intersections into lively, colorful matters. Of men who climb on the roofs without harnesses. Who swing concrete walls without fisticuffs. Who at the end of a long day at work break open bottles of beer with their teeth. One, this is rugged country. Their ease, but this is also hospitable country. And so, I greet you. In the native tongues of we Nigerians, I say, no. Ekao. Salutismo. In the tongues that were given to us by others, I say, welcome. Bienvenue. Assalamu alaikum. Bienvenidos. Willkommen. But above all, in that tongue that we Nigerians fought for ourselves, out of the burning furnace that is our bittersweet history, I say to you, well done. And to those of you that are quietly thinking to yourself, now just seeing you for the first time today, what have I achieved? Well done for what? I'll tell you. For sitting at the edge of your bed this morning praying to God for strength for another day. Well done for wiping the tears of yesterday from your eyes. For brushing the pain of yesterday from your heart. For painting a smile of resilience on your lips and choosing to show up this afternoon. Well done. In anticipation of all the greatness you are capable of. Of all the good you may yet do in this sad world. Now well done, no. Yes, we greet you like this because we know that it helps. Because we know that it helps to know that you are seen. We greet you like this because we know that money will take care of the body. But it is this connection to another human being that takes care of the soul. We greet you like this because it is togetherness. Because it is community. Because it is one of the precious things we share as children of this continent, we greet. Because it is our culture. Because we are Africans. And yes, I know many times, we Africans living here on this continent, oftentimes we lose sight of the many precious things that connect us. But the day you leave this continent, as a Nigerian or Ugandan or Sudanese, the day you arrive at any airport outside of this continent, that is the day you know that you are African. When you find yourself sitting on a bus in central London, watching that 13-year-old boy put his one feet on the seat and casually stick to the norm on the back of the chair in front of him, the effort it will take you to behave like everybody around you and pretend you're not seeing it. The effort it will take you to resist the unholy urge to find a cave. The effort it will take you to bite your tongue and look away. That effort will tell you that you're the desperation with which you will search for purpose. The desperation with which you will hunt for drumming and rhythm in your music abroad. The desperation with which you will search for warm hugs and loud, noisy greetings in your interactions abroad. These things will tell you that you are African. But these are the things that bind us as surely as the Nile binds Egypt to Sudan. Yes, sir. And the Niger binds Guinea to Nigeria. And the Congo binds together the heart of Africa. These are the things that bind us. These beliefs that it takes a village to raise a child. Yes. that the younger should be respectful towards the elder.
Yes, sir.
That those who have departed from us are always with us. These are the things that have always bound us. So long before the first subsea cable bringing high-speed internet landed on our shores, we were already connected.
Yes.
Long before the first subsea cable bringing high-speed internet landed on our shores, we already knew the importance of being hooked up to a living network. Because the Tuaregs were our first fiber optic cables.
Wow.
Laying camel tracks across that sea of sand, across the Sahara to connect North Africa with West Africa. Centuries before wireless broadband, from those old port cities of Sudan, of Somalia, of Kenya, trade routes radiated out like radio frequency all across to Borno like this. We modern Africans are products of a history of Pan-African connection.
No.
That is why the name Ahmed Dembele from the north is known in the south. And the name Amilcar Cabral from the west is known in the east. And the music of our widow resonates across the continent.
Wow.
As Kino Akabe's Okonkwo is revered by all. And this is why the name Samuel Mujoma from the south is known in the north. And the name Julius Nyerere from the east is known in the west. And the music of Makeba took the struggle of Samora and put it in the mouth of Nigeria when she sang Mozambique and Utakonti. So that today, that Afro-Portuguese word Aluta, that was the rallying cry for the fight for independence in Mozambique. Today, that Afro-Portuguese word Aluta is Nigerian code, is Nigerian slang, is Nigerian street language for struggle. Like this, we modern Africans are products of a history of Pan-African connection. But that history will be lost if it is not intentionally engineered into the technical plans to fully integrate Africa into the global digital society. That history will be lost if it is not fully taken into consideration as we design the architecture of the digital society, of the digital economy in Africa. But tell me, what use is the internet in Africa if it only fuels the consumption of the culture, of the history, of the commerce of others? What good is the internet in Africa if it does not bring Cape Town closer to Cairo? If it does not bring Senegal closer to Sudan? What good is the internet in Africa if it leaves all our villages offline? Content only to connect the most elite parts of our towns to global consumer centers. What good is the internet in Africa if we log on only to find abuse, only to find oppression, only to find perversion, only to find exclusion? What good is the internet in Africa if it does not empower us to tell our stories, to project our personalities, to fight our battles against poverty, against corruption, against bad governance, to fight these battles more effectively? What good is the internet in Africa if we log on only to find that digital landscape devoid of Ubuntu, devoid of togetherness, devoid of those peculiar values that make us African in the first place? And so, ladies and gentlemen, I come before you this absolutely simple point to remind you, participants at the African Internet Governance Forum, to remind you to tackle the challenges before you, to tackle those challenges as Africans. I come before you this afternoon, a simple poet, to stir your Pan-African hearts with this language of the gods poetry. I come before you this afternoon to stir your Pan-African spirits with this poem. Listen. Did you know that the streets of Benin were wide of streets? When the first Portuguese came walking down them, in search of that Oba Ewari the Great, whose name would echo, still echoes through time. Did you know that the mysteries of iron were solved in Jos? That the Niger existed before it was found? That Ife predates the Berlin Conference and the throne in Borno is 1,000 years old? Did you know that Amina built a wall in Zaria? That Kano traded with the Western Sudan? That Nsibidi is an ancient script discovered in Cross River, and Igbo's bronze is still marvelous men. Did you know that the pharaohs of Egypt were all of this continent? That Timbuktu was a city of libraries and intellect? That long before Christopher Columbus did it, Abubakar of Mali sailed across the Atlantic? Did you know that great Zimbabwe was a city in history? That Nzinga was a queen who would not be conquered, who would not be convinced of the merits of slavery, that Ethiopia is a kingdom that was never colonized? Did you know that the colonizer came with more than the Bible? That the Zulus were cut down with the Gatling gun? That Jaja was exiled, that Tahiru was killed, that our spirits were broken before they were done? Did you know that their textbooks were written to keep us dependent? That their classrooms were built to contain our mind? That innovation is not foreign, we have the same rights to it. That our versions of reality are just as valid as theirs. Did you know that telling these stories could help to heal us? To find there were bridges in history between us? That we are not people come out of the darkness, that these borders and boundaries were crafted for us? But do I ask you these questions, O young Africans, just to make you complacent with tales from the past? What good would that do us in these broken lands where our future is blighted by corruption and waste? No. I ask you this question so you understand. We may pay the Chinese to build infrastructure, but the spirit of greatness has not been important. It's not something you can do with the couple together. For no matter how friendly, no friend will give it. No matter how charitable, no nation will tell. There's no market in Dubai you can go to and buy it. No course in the US will teach it as well. It's something that's drawn out of blood and remembering. Not something received, it's something that's taken to take back the right to write your own story. Greatness is something we carry within. So look to the West for Twitter and Facebook, but not for the way to our own destinies. This sun will not rise from London or New York to reclaim redemption. Africans, look to yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, once again this afternoon, on behalf of this country of giants, I say to you, no, I can't. Thank you. And in the terms that were placed to us by others, I say to you, welcome. Bienvenue. Assalamu alaikum. Bienvenidos. Willkommen. But above all, in that tongue that we Nigerians fought for ourselves, out of the burning furnace of our bittersweet history, in that tongue that we carved for ourselves, out of our determination not to be crushed under the foot of history, in that tongue we carved for ourselves, out of our firm resolve to shake up that history of slavery and colonialism, to reinvent ourselves and rise and rise and rise. In that tongue, I say to you, in anticipation of all the greatness you are capable of, and of all the good you may well do for our countries and our continent, in that tongue, I say to you, well done.